I was in a hurry. 3 hours has passed since I have escaped from a jail. It should not be too long before someone identifies me. I don't have a lot of time left. I am on a path that runs through countryside. I came all the way while hitting and running, just not to be found. How can I run away? Train? Bus? Ocean diesel? Airplane? I have been running this road for about 30 minutes now, but no car has passed by. I asked myself, what do I do next? And that is when I saw a cab heading my way. I held my hands up to stop the cab. Luckily, the cab was available, so I got in. I told the driver to take me a city, easily 100 kilometers away. Obviously, I have no cash on me and have no plan to pay the driver. I am a criminal anyway, not paying for the ride, and I think another crime record won't make a difference. The driver looks like an old man. He can't physically beat me. If things get complicated, then all I have to do is, "Sir?" The driver talks to me. It's made me a little nervous. Is it possible that he saw me on the news? Just curious. What were you doing on the country road like that? So I came up with a lie and said I was driving with my date, but we got into a fight. She left me in the middle of nowhere and said, "Good luck, find a way home." The driver laughed and said, "Well, that sounds like a trouble." The way he smiled was showing his warm and kind personality. When do I tell him that I have no money? Or should I tell nothing and run away at the last minute? "Today is actually my last day of work," says the driver. He added that I was his very last customer, and so he does not need any fares for the ride. But instead, "Can you please listen to my story?" sounded like a plan to me. The driver used to be an office worker. He graduated from a college, has started working for a well-known large corporation, where he became a great asset and was promoted quickly. Then he has married to his school sweetheart. Since his wife was from a wealthy family, he was adopted by her family. I interrupted the driver. "Hey, are you going to keep bragging about your great life?" The driver answered with a smile. "This is my last day. Please let me finish." They have one girl together. It sounds like she is about the age to finish college and start working this year. The driver's life wasn't always easy. There were instances where he has made mistakes at work and feared for his position. Big companies have big company issues. That was my thought while I was zoning out. But why is he a cab driver now? Did he end up to losing his well-paid job? The driver said, "For me, My family was more important than my work, and that is what I chose. His words carried weight. When driver's daughter was in 5th grade, she had a car accident. She hit her head and was in a critical condition. The driver stayed with her throughout the night, but her condition did not improve. I desperately wanted to stay by her side. I didn't want to leave her. That day, the driver had a very important presentation at work on the project he was managing, and so he has made a decision to choose his daughter over his work. The project was a big success, but the driver left his management position and spent his time with his daughter until she finally opened her eyes. So that is the reason he is a cab driver now. I know that. The driver's daughter eventually get better, but even after her complete recovery, the driver tried to spend more time with her family. A cab driver is a piecework system, and you have better control over your work hours. It sounds like his life was smooth sailing ever since. The driver kept going. I just didn't know how fulfilling and wonderful time and days I spent with my family. Well, that sounds great. You get to spend more time after retirement, I said. Yes, together for a very long time. I am very much looking forward to it, answered the driver. But among many aged drivers, this driver looks like a little young for retirement. Out of curiosity, I asked him a question. How old are you, sir? I am 51. I was surprised with his wrinkly skin. I thought he was in his 60s. The driver continued. The retirement is my decision. But doesn't he have a long life ahead? Even if his daughter is all grown up, aren't he concerned about his income and savings? I have no savings, said the driver, and I have no plan to find a new job. Are you going to rely on your daughter for a living? I am not going to rely on my daughter. I cannot rely on my daughter. I don't have a daughter anymore, said the driver. Approximately 1 year ago, a robber broke into the driver's house. It was a midday on a weekday. The driver was at work, and his wife and daughter were home. It was a national holiday, and his daughter's school was closed. They were both persecuted cruelly with a stun gun and a knife. The driver was the first one to find them. Looking down on two lifeless bodies, he lost his words. After 6 months, the police arrested a guy who did this. That was the day I became a cab driver. He promised to himself he chose family over his work. I will find the guy who did this and provide justice with my own hands. But the police found the guy, right? I lost my passion. I didn't know what to do every day. You need passion to keep working, wouldn't you agree? I lost that. The driver kept his smile on his face while I was sweating like a pig. My whole body was drenched in sweat. I didn't realize he looks much older and very different. He also has different last name. Maybe that was his maiden name. Robbery and murder. That is the reason I was in a jail. It feels dark inside the car. The cab keeps going on the desert mountain road. I thought we were driving through a city. The driver did not stop. He accelerated and turned onto a rough path, and our car passed bushes. There was a cliff in front of us. The driver repeated himself. "Sir, you are my very last customer. I don't need a fare for the ride. But please listen to my story instead." Until the end. The cab jumped off the cliff and floated in the air. The driver smiled happily.